today? Another waffle? Maybe, maybe not. Yes, it is a waffle since we are here. Today we are gonna be talking about friends. And specifically friends and relationships, kind of. A little bit on relationships under certain conditions. Which is also a trigger warning in a way. And that is for eating disorders. Because the thing is that eating disorders are one of the most isolating, purely isolating and isolated, if that's a word, disorders and mental disorders out there. A reminder, anorexia and bulimia and everything like that are mainly mental disorders. And the thing is, it's gonna ruin your friendships, relationships, family relationships, purely because of the symptoms. You're gonna lose your personality. You are not going to be you're not gonna be nice. The thing is, when you starve yourself or you puke, and you are stuck in cycles of your disorder, you're gonna be a fucking asshole. That's just the way it is, because it's so annoying. It's so annoying for you, and you're gonna be pissed 24/7, and you're gonna be mean to people. Or you get so indulged in it because it consumes literally everything. And you will talk about it, and people are not gonna like it because yes, there are eating disorder forums that are targeted for discussions like this, and you have things like Anna buddies and mutuals on social media / communities of eating disorders that we talk to. But when you're going to talk to an average person, you are gonna be fucking weird. You are going to be fucking weird. Because, like, I would say it's human nature that normal person's reactions either gonna be, hey, are you okay? Because food is a human need. And also, it's not just that, it's also, the thing is that food is not just fuel, whatever they say, but it's also culture. Like when you go out, it's normal. Like, for example, when you go to the mall, you and your friends are gonna get a snack. When you go to a cafe to study or work, you are gonna get a drink, and sometimes with a drink you are gonna get a cookie or something. I don't know about American culture, but I've seen barbecues on 4th of July, Thanksgiving dinners, Christmas dinners. All these events include food, and when you're gonna refuse it or have some rules about it, people are weird. Or they think you're weird, and then they are weird about thinking you are weird. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is when you get people around you to either accept or kind of be okay with your eating disorder, things change a lot. And that, in my case, was yesterday. Today is the 10th of July. The big thing is when you have people, especially friends, around you that are like okay with your disorder, you're gonna be less mean, but also you're gonna be more open about things like that. Specifically yesterday, I had a hangout. It was a big day with my friends. The whole lunch-ish, afternoon-ish, like the early afternoon, basically some of my friends came over to my place also to sort some other things out, but also it was a hangout that I kind of organized to celebrate my weight loss. Yeah. It was really eating disordered centered. To give an example, the whole hangout, it was literally just us watching a movie. And speaking of the movie, I want to mention it was To the Bone, like literally the most iconic movie of all time for disordered people. And after that whole ordeal, also during that whole movie, we are literally just talking about eating disorders. Like, I had my friend there, shout out Cairo. He was like, he basically, like, the thing is we all have OCs, and his OC happens to be disordered, and it happened to be, and like he was drawing during the movie, and like asked some questions about my experience, about how different things work, how they are in everyday life. So that was a topic, or asking about the things they discussed in the movie. That's a thing. What the fuck is going on in there? So we were kind of discussing that the whole time, or also we had lunch. A few of us took less lunch because of the movie. It's like that. For the record, another person that was there also happens to be disordered. So let's just say Cairo had a big lunch because we gave most of our food to him. But yeah, after that whole thing, today, this morning, I was super tired. I could not do anything. That is also a side effect of my relapse. And yeah, that's also a side effect of anorexia in general. You're gonna be tired and you feel shit. So yeah, I just dumped like 2 coffees down myself and thought of watching a video. I open YouTube and there's this one specific person that I'd like to mention, and that is of Herbs and Altars, aka Dorian. Dorian is, I would say, an older, is that I won't say they are an older YouTuber. I think they are in their 40s ish. I don't remember right. And a few years ago, I think it was 5 years ago, they posted a review on To the Bone, and I watched it to like think about some of the points they made, and one of them was the relationship between Ellen or Ellie and her sister. And Dorian's point was the sibling dynamic between them wouldn't be so good because of the reaction from the sibling about knowing about their other siblings' disorder, or genuinely just it being really isolating for the reasons I mentioned earlier. But also I thought about it a little bit, and like from an other point of view. And also another good point that Dorian made was it covers a lot of different kinds and situations and lives with eating disorders and different kinds of eating disorders. There was the bulimic, there's a bulimic, there's a binge eater. There's the higher weight person, there's underweight people, there's one singular male character, which they fucking butchered. My friend said it nicely. fucking hate Lucas or Lulu or Luke or Lucas like mucus or whatever he said. Fucking hate him. Anyways, yeah, they had a lot of... Yeah, but the thing is that they had a lot of representation. So what I like to think is I really liked the dynamic between Ellen and her sister because it can show you can have a good relationship with anyone or few good relationships with anyone while having an eating disorder, either short term or long term. Because the thing is, you, at least what I've seen, the usual like duration of an eating disorder before a semi-successful recovery or a successful recovery is 2 years. That's just my observation. Especially around my and Ellen's age. I'm 15 right now and Ellen is 20. Dropped out of college, but 20. So that teenager, young adult, specifically anorexia experience, it's around 2 years. Yeah, but 2 years is a long time. We are good. You live with it every day. So yes, it is like severely isolating, but also you are gonna have some friendships either from forums or in real life because there are people that genuinely like you, but in a way that they are either themselves disordered or are really close to it or understand that you might not be ready to recover at all, which happens to be my case. My romantic partner is also disordered in a sort. It's complicated, but also, as I mentioned, Cairo, specifically a kind of person that is open with me about eating disorders and kind of okay to coexist with my disorder showing up. Yeah, so there's this like specific way of understanding it that specifically it's not total, it's not black and white, it's gray. Like most of things in life, it's fucking gray. Sorry for the interruption, my door was open. Yeah. So yeah, as I mentioned about the representation and to the bone, there's a lot of it, but also there was the critique of the relationships, friendships, and I think actually that Ellen got a bit along with the people in the inpatient that she stayed in. The representation of inpatient was pretty shit. It doesn't look like that most of the time. It's not pretty, it's not cool. And in this day and age, it's not worth it. Inpatient is not worth it because the job doesn't end when you're out of inpatient. The recovery doesn't end, the actions don't end. It's not gonna magically recover you. Yeah, that's basically she got pretty well with the people in the inpatient because they are disordered. But outside with her family, it was pretty rough, except the sister. Which I understand the friendship or the genuine friendship and relationship she had with her sister, because you can have friendships and relationships with your eating disorder, but it's fucking complicated. But to come back to Dorian's argument that it was not good representation, that is mainly it should be more represented that eating disorders ruin your friendships, relationships, because that's the 90% of it. That's the 90, 95, 99% of it. Like the amount of people you have before being disordered and during or after being disordered, it goes down drastically. Like severely, it just plummets. So to scare people off, it would be better to just have less friendship relationships. So it was, in this case, specifically for To the Bone, it's not bad to have the friendship with a sister, because I think it also discloses that the family relations and the family drama was not the main cause of her eating disorder. It probably contributed, because it's a lot, I would say. Like, I was watching the whole family therapy gathering. It was crazy. Like, girl, how are you even alive? Like, how are you alive? I mean, she's not, but yeah, as a character, like, how is she alive? But yeah, that's it was not the only reason. There was multiple, and there is multiple when it comes to eating disorders. The thing, like, you never know the cause of an eating disorder, or I mean, the causation can be pretty small, but the many pillars that have to support it for it to get so serious. For example, it gets so serious that it's a full-blown disorder. There's a lot. For example, to give, you can have bullying and mean comments about in school. Let's say you are a teenage girl in school, you get bullied. Pretty straightforward reason to stop eating. But also then you stop eating and you start feeling fucking terrible. So bad because you're hungry or mean. You get the point. You get insufferable. But then you start getting compliments on your weight loss. And it motivates you. And you keep going. And yeah, there's, like, usually there's something that comes up that just fleshes out your disorder and it keeps it going. Like, it's rarely ever just a single trigger. So my final thought is that you can have friendships in your disorder, but they are gonna rip out most of it. Eating disorders are gonna rip apart most of your relationships, most of your friendships, and it's gonna be a terrible time. Most of it. So what you can do is either recover, which is hell. Recovery is hell. Or you can at least try. It's like both eating disorders and recovery is hell. Like, it's just you decide which one you want. But if you decide to keep going with your disorder, it's just gonna be, there's harm reduction. So it's specific to your life, but there is actions you can take to maintain the things that you care about. That's probably the takeaway of this video. Figure out what you want and what to do for you to keep it. Yeah, but the damage is just huge. That's why I don't condone eating disorders. It just takes away a lot. And that's a note I will close this on. Mwah. Bye. Love you.